And we are live. Welcome back to the live reality game. We have a very special new live reality game to introduce you all to out there called Battle Royale. Some of you may have tuned in to our last intro of The Amazing Hunt, where Bill joined us last time. Bill, welcome back.
Hi there, everyone.
Bill, what is your role with The Amazing Hunt and Battle Royale? Like, what do you run in this scenario, I guess?
As in my role basically is tell what everybody's to do. Pretty much like Jeff Probst, but more like in the back of a scene, not in the front of it. So
Gotcha. We are here discussing the new game Battle Royale, which is a spin-off of, like you were saying, kind of similar to Survivor, correct?
yeah, it is a mixture between two reality TV shows. When we first start doing it, such a reality TV show hasn't come up yet. But is it like Survivor and Tough as Nails? So both from CBS. Why we say that is because we does incorporate group and individual challenges, but we try not to get rid of people right away, so they can stay as long as we want them to.
Gotcha. So definitely a little bit on the nicer side of things. It's not
A little bit nicer side, yes.
you're not like you jump off the island and then up, you're the first one out. So nice to see it. Go pack your bags, essentially. So
No, I think the group makes all the way to the game. We don't want to cut them off so soon, right? So, but it is still a game to be crowned as the king or the queen. And of course, it is all about the survival of the fittest, of course, just like Survivor.
Now, speaking of survival of the fittest, this first season, as I take it, correct?
No, actually, no. It's actually we actually tried out the amazing like Survivor style game back in 2011. That's the first one, and where we had 6 teams of 2 the racers came back to compete in a Survivor style game. So they have to turn on each other at some point, even though they work as a team in the race, but Survivor is an individual game. So then in the end, they only have to care about their best interests at the end of it. Then we came back 8 years later, since Survivor becomes such a good popular spin-off for all the live reality games. Everybody tried to do it. Especially when I saw one of the biggest thing, like that biggest impression of it is Survivor Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I ever I've watched the All Stars, I was like, well, that should be on TV. I did a little more just to keep it in a 45-minute frame, but we should have that when the Survivor is not on TV. It was well cast and with very good twists. And because of Survivor Maryland, I then discovered live reality games community, and that's how it works.
Well, that's fantastic. I know Maryland, especially the All-Star seasons, is one of the highest rated live reality games out there for gameplay, for casting, just for editing too, and all purposes. One of the best ones out there. So I think you found a nice one to reel you in, I guess you could say.
Yes, and then of course just try to do a little bit different after I've done like 30 races, right? So it is a change of pace a little bit. Yeah.
Now, we've seen everything in live reality games based on like time frame. Some games last a whole week. Some games only last a day. This one, given the contestants that I see, I don't think this one's going to last a week with some of the players. What's the time frame like in this Survivor?
It's not even a week, more like a 6-hour to 8-hour time frame.
That's great.
That's really, really quick. So with that said, everything is very frantically happen during just one day. So there's really not that much time for a long-term strategy or some quiet moment to reflect while you're walking the woods or laying the tent, or you just want to kind of plan out your way all the way to the end of it. So a lot of times it's more like that sudden instinctive decision that you have to make, whether it is during a challenge or while you just make a game changing move.
Speaking of game-changing moves, one of the questions out there, since it is a shorter style, are there any game-changing moves? I know some fans are out there wondering if there's possibly an idol hidden. Do we see any idle plays in this series yet, or maybe future?
We tried to do that the first time, and apparently people were frantically looking, and nobody could find it. So then that's basically like non-existent anyway. And the current one that we just did in 2020, which is almost a year ago, because our twist is so unique, there is no point of actually have an immunity idol nor a hidden one. So then make everything very straightforward. Especially when you try to involve 26 people in a 6-hour time frame, that's very difficult at the time. Yeah.
And the people who play Survival Challenge say that voting, maybe even given even 20 minutes to make up a decision, is a quick pace. This with 26 people in the course of just a few hours, Bill, really, it's like there must be like multiple eliminations or something, some kind of big twist I'm expecting.
Yes, there is definitely a big twist. So I've watched so many live reality game podcasts, and then it's always about when the contenders, when the castaway were given such a short amount of time, like you say 15-20 minutes, they have to make that game-changing decision. It already give them a lot of frustration, and there's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, especially after the game is finished. So we try to cut down that a little bit more and more go like straightforwardly, just like, okay, if it's like you have to make a decision now, if you don't make it now, then it kind of lose your opportunity. That's what we did in the 2019 version of it. And that still basically we have to cut off so many challenges. In 2020, we'll try to do it again. I think we still cut about 4 or 5 challenges. So even with our special twist, which am I allowed to mention at some point, or should I just keep everybody guessing?
It's totally up to you, Bill. I don't think special twists, you really spoil it. It just gives people something to look forward to. Is there a special little secret going on here you can spill?
No, I think it's actually already. I already spoiled it myself on the Amazing Hunt Facebook page. So we went into it in 2020. We actually originally had a different twist. However, with the pandemic happened, and then what we always keep in mind is that there is a word that we always keep being reminded: social distancing. Constantly social distancing, social distancing. So we as a production team took that as an opportunity. Social distancing, abbreviated SD. So we try to find something that is similar to that. SD. What's SD? SD. So in the end of it, especially with this 26 family members, which they all know very well with each other, they're very tight knit. So the best way to present this twist is to a group that's so tied together. We call it Battle Royale SD, as in sudden death.
Oh.
So it's a twist that no Survivor game have ever done. So then there is no voting. So if you lose a challenge, you're gone. And that's cutthroat as that. So there is no second chance, no edge of the extension, no whatever the twist they have, keep having people coming back over and over and over. Yeah.
And especially when you said it's a cutthroat game of all relatives too. And I think especially during the COVID situation, you were able to get a family that was kind of together and like, and then in Canada, there was a lesser amount than in some other countries.
Yes.
So that played up to working well for you and finding a group. I hear one of your alums, maybe Allison, was behind some of this. Was this kind of like her family?
It is her, technically an entire family plus some relatives. So like how it started is I got approached by Allison. Me and Allison went.
I felt like she had something to do with this, honestly.
Yes, she did. And then I met Allison in 2010 when she was racing first time with her younger sister. So she was not really active back then, but I think that experience racing with us sort of like a life-changing experience. I don't want to really say that we changed her life, but I think we did, in a sense that she is more active than she was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she's more active than anybody in her family at this point. And she's actually just turned 73 yesterday.
Well, happy birthday to her. This is kind
Yes,
of
happy
like
birthday to Allison.
Happy birthday.
Yes. So then, considering that she is possibly still the most senior reality TV or reality TV style game competition participant, so she approached me. She wants to do a family event, and then I thought this as an opportunity. Basically, it is hard to pull off a Survivor, which a lot of our community can attest to that, especially last year, even this year. So if I have 26 people on my hand at that moment, what's the best thing I could do? Of course, a huge Survivor, but I have to get it done within 6 hours. And she agreed to that. And then, so it's like something that she never done before. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick shout out to Allison right here. We'll pop her up on screen. I got a picture of her. This is just courtesy of your your Instagram page, which anybody can check out.
Yeah.
It has a list of all the contestants too, so definitely look at the pictures and give us your thoughts on the players. We, of course, wish the best luck to all participants. However, we'll have some favorites. And speaking of, we're going to be doing a special draft edition of Battle Royale tomorrow with some other familiar faces from the community here at Live Reality Games. So make sure you tune in 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. Were there any, because this is, you knew Allison, and I'm sure you knew some of the family before. Did you have any people that really stuck out to you as maybe strong, predominant players in this game?
Well, strong as in depends on how you want to look at it. When we knew that there's 26 people there, especially majority of people are over 50. So it is a big challenge for us, is that how are we able to pull this off rather than making it very, very physically demanding. So we try to make it a little bit different than a lot of things are about endurance and a lot of things are about mental challenge. But we like this is the thing, as all the live reality game community, like all the producers, we know that when you have a cast at hand like that, you cherish it, you use that opportunity to do whatever you can. So we immediately adapt the Gen X versus millennial type situation, where the groups were divided into two, where there are 47 and above and also 47 below.
You don't get to say that very often in live reality games. Like 47 is on the highest tier of things. So it's great to see a cast of such varying age groups. It's amazing.
Yeah. So technically at that point was between oldest was 72, Allison, and then 9 years old was Gia. So that's 63-year difference. It's hard to ever have the opportunity to do so.
And by the way, here's Gia. Just a little spoiler for tomorrow. Gia is my favorite to win. Alex and Pierre, if you're watching at home, I've already claimed her as my favorite. I really hope her the best. I remember watching the preview video when it was first released, Bill, and she made some kind of pose or something like she was going to win the game. And I was right there. She won the game for me. So Gia, best of luck to you. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
No worries. Yeah. So then in sort of sense, even though we divide the groups into two, and to the elite, what we call, and the youngins, we call it, but that's not the first twist we laid on them. There will be more coming. So even though the groups were divided into that, but that's not just it. So I think it's more of for 6 hours. I don't think the difficult part is not for them, for the castaway to basically figure out how the game's going to run. It's for us as production side of how can we run this within six hours.
Where do people find out episodes? Where do they watch? Do you suggest going to Instagram? I know you have a Twitter page as well, I think.
Yeah, well, we decided to do it all on Instagram this time. So all the numerous episodes, which you don't know how many it's going to be, but they're going to be short ones, so you don't feel like you have to sit in front of a computer for about an hour long. It's definitely very, very short. So then, because it is a 6 hour cut down to whatever it is, we don't have multiple days like Survivor BC. Shout out to Jared, of course. Uh, we don't have that many footage, so then we try to make everything as compact as just like the race. But I know everybody who's Survivor fan like to talk about, oh, what is the woulda, coulda, shoulda if they have gone this way, if have gone that way. In this 2020 version of it, there is no other way. It's either you win or you lose. There is no coming back at all.
Well, actually, I'm hoping to see some of the cast. I'm looking through the pictures and kind of like guessing, like maybe their personality types, just the way like they're modeling themselves. They're like, hey, gonna make a pose to look real cool. So I'm excited to see the characters, and of course, watching Allison, and of course, and watching some of her other relatives play the Amazing Hunt. I'm really excited to see a competitive family. I know from personal experience, family can be cutthroat. It's like you just start with blood versus water, and it's all blood. So
it's all blood. Yes, they're all bloodthirsty family. They really to cut each other through very fast. Yeah,
especially that Gia. Like she's gonna be the best. I can already tell.
Well, you
no
have
spoilers.
To watch, right? Just because she's the youngest doesn't mean that she's actually easy to deal with, and that's what I can tell you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. So how do other people find out and maybe play these games, Bill? Do you have like a casting process? Is there any way that they can find more information about it?
Yeah, just like other events as well. It's always on our Facebook page as well as our official website. That's usually how we post our things online, and just to let people know that we are looking for people. Just to put this out a little bit, I think throughout this experience, especially Allison's family, we are actually changing the battle royale, shifting a little different than what we originally thought it would be. So instead of all the Survivor games about like competing with strangers, we are actually looking for people who actually know each other very well, and family, close friends, and we'll try to make it as cutthroat as possible. So it's like you know each other people, so you're not shy of actually backstabbing each other. That's how it goes. So then we'll try to make it like a let's get physical version of the Family Feud.
Oh, so now I like that. Personally, we run the adventure gaming group here on our side of town, and we've been asked a few times. We've done like family weddings, we've done some reunions. We just got asked to do a birthday party for a younger girl, older than Gia. So I'm excited to see how the kids interact on the show, and just to get a gauge for what kind of challenges, what kind of twists can we pull off on them. I hear they're all really competitive, the group of girls they got coming out for this event. So I'm excited to see, and I wanted some ideas. I'm probably going to steal some things, Bill, by the way.
Sure, just no problem. Yeah.
I'll borrow them. I won't give them back per se, but you know, I'll use them.
I think the live reality games community, with people all doing Survivor, they have great ideas, and they have great challenges too. And I think that's one thing. I'm still very new to this. I'm probably only the third game in myself with this kind of style, but then I'm still in a learning process. But the only thing I can keep coming to change everything is by coming different twists. So we already have a twist lined up this year. Hopefully we can execute it. It's always constantly changing. Just trust me. The sudden death twist was supposed to be in 2 years from now. Well, yeah.
Well, I think it's fantastic that you were able to roll the punches and just get everything safe and family friendly too at the same time. Speaking of one topic we didn't get to last time that we interviewed, you have a fantastic host. Who is this host that you have?
Yes, this host, his name is Ryan Steele, and he's actually the alumni of The Amazing Race Canada in season 2, and he went, he thought he was going to eliminate first in the first episode, but he made all the way to the finale.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he didn't win the money, but that's probably why he's hosting. He was hosting. So then we were so grateful to have him to come to be a part of our local event. And he's a very charming person. And he knows how to deliver his lines. He has a very interesting comedic sense. So if you go to our Instagram, he actually sort of improvise a little bit. And he actually say something which I can't really say on the camera. But if you check out the Instagram, there is some interesting word that he used, and everybody loved it. Nobody hates him what he said. So yeah.
From what I've seen too, I'm subscribed to his page, his little comedy skit thing. It is hilarious to see those little improv acts that he does. He dresses up, he does this, he does that, a little bit of singing, a little bit of acting all at the same time. So it's fantastic. Yes. I do recommend checking out. You said Ryan Brandt, right?
Ryan Steele.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Have to get his name right. So yes.
I did that as a trick for you, just as a test. So good job for paying attention.
No problem. Yes.
Let's see here. So when does the first episode come out, Bill? And how often are we going to be seeing these episodes drop?
We are hoping that can come on a weekly basis, starting on Wednesday, just like the usual Survivor schedule. Since majority of reality show just ended, we know that recently the other reality TV show just ended about last Wednesday. So we decided to put this on as of upcoming Wednesday, 2 days from now.
And then for anyone watching at home that is following along on our YouTube or Facebook page that we're streaming live at, I did drop a link to the preview video down below. So after this, once you hear all about all the details, go check out the first few minutes of the show and make sure you watch, pay attention, and let us know tomorrow who you're rooting for especially. Besides the cast assessment that we're doing tomorrow, we also have the finale winner of Survivor LU coming up tomorrow, and a very special podcast about Jack Adkins. He played these games, a bunch of these games a while ago, and now he made it onto the Circle. And we're going to talk about his experience from all the background games that he played, the LRGs, and just to bring some people that he knew from before the Circle on to talk about him and maybe poke a little fun at his gameplay on the Circle. So we'll see how that goes, and that's tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that.
Definitely. He's definitely a fun person to watch. Yes.
Are you watching the Circle right now, Bill?
We did, and that's why I decided to post my episode right after the Circle, so then people can focus on something different.
That's Wednesday. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's still Wednesday, right? So
might as well watch something else too right at it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Bill, thanks again for your time tonight. Anybody tuning in, make sure you check out the Instagram at The Amazing Hunt for Battle Royale specials. We have a cast assessment tomorrow. Bill, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say that we haven't covered yet about Battle Royale?
Well, if you know any family in Vancouver, BC, like to participate in the cutthroat physical version of Family Feud, please let us know. Trust us, we always are making things more challenging, more twisting than anything that you can imagine. And we're hoping we can pull it off again in this year. And we hope everybody stays safe and also be able to create another live reality games in their own states, places, and have fun while we have to stay in our own country and cannot travel anywhere.
Eventually, we'll get out there one day again. So make sure you check out the amazinghunt.com for more information about this. You can check out all these podcasts and all the live reality game stuff at facebook.com/live reality games or here on YouTube/live reality games. And of course, the host and the comedic thing, just search Ryan Steele, Steele, for some really funny things. So Bill, once again, thanks for hopping on tonight. And for everyone at home, thanks for tuning in, and make sure you check out us tomorrow. Till then.